Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a wooden survival base. Somebody's excited. On the ground level, we have a farm, we have a stable, and we have an animal pen. On the second level, we have a nether portal. We have another farm. You may even be able to see a little secret room in the distance. We also have access to the first level of our house, which includes a brewing area, an enchantment area, and a general smelting area. And if that wasn't enough, on the final floor of the house, we have a general crafting area, storage, a bedroom, some armor, and more storage. What more could you possibly want? Cinnamon here is pretty hyped for this house, and I hope that you guys are as well. I really love this one, and I hope you enjoy building it. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make our house. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can begin. So the first thing that we have to do when making our house is we have to place a row of 3 birch fence on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. On top of that, I want you to place 2 birchwood slabs making a plank. Extend the top of the plank to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn that 4th block into a plank. Continue extending right from the top and do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn that into a plank. Go right of this plank by placing 3 oakwood stairs, 1, 2, 3, extending inwards towards where the back of our build will be, and place a birchwood plank next to the stairs. We then want to take the top of the plank and we want to continue extending right now that we have extended in, and we want to go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th block wants to be turned into a plank. We're going to extend backwards again, once by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to turn that block into a plank. We want to go right of this plank and we want to once again place 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn that into a plank. We're going to be doing this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn that into a plank before we take a sideways view and we start making the width of the house. So we want to do the rows of 4 twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, plank, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, once again, plank. It now gets very easy because we now want to extend across the back of the house, and we simply want to keep repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, plank. We just want to keep repeating that 2, 3, 4, plank until we eventually line up with where we first started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, plank, 1, 2, 3, 4, plank, 1, 2, 3, 4. I do believe that's correct. Yep, that lines up. Plank. And then, of course, all we have to do is just join forwards using the exact same strategy once again. And the reason that we are placing all of these planks is because they typically mark out an important part of the build. So not only does it look a little bit nicer, not only does it provide us a good place to add some support structure to the build, but it will also help us make the house as well a little bit later. So this is what we want to have so far, ladies and gentlemen. You can see this is pretty much the general design. This is the general floor plan, if you can call it this, call it that for the build. And what we then want to do is we want to fill it in using oak planks. So just fill the entire top of it in using oak planks. This is going to be, I guess, the first floor of the house, the first level. We have a ground level in which we will be making a little bit of a barn, a little bit of a stable area, but we do have this first level which allows us access to part of the house. The house is split into, the actual house, the living space itself is split into 2 parts, and this is how we gain access to the first part of that. So fill all of this in with your oakwood planks and we will end up with something that should look like this. So now that we've done that, I feel as though that we should work on these lower levels a little bit. So let us start on the right hand side. So from the front, on the right hand side where we have this plank here, the birchwood plank, behind this we want to place a row of oak planks that extends down from the ground, or up from the ground rather, to the platform. So up from the ground to the platform, or down from the platform to the ground is what I think I was trying to say. We want to take the bottom of the row of oak wood planks and we want to extend it backwards. We want to extend it backwards pretty much where the equivalent position as to where we did on the front onto the back. So we just want to be able to slot it in here just before the birchwood plank. We want to extend the oak wood planks across, so the bottom corners we want to extend it across, and we want to join it upwards to just behind where the next birchwood plank is along. And we want to take the bottom here, we want to extend this forwards, and we then want to extend it upwards to, once again, equivalent to what we have on the back. Not only do we want to have this, but we're going to place in front of the left side of what we just made, we are going to place a row of birch fence to kind of like just provide a little bit of support. That's going to sit in front of this particular part of the stable, but we want to place a row of oak wood planks behind this diagonally like so, and this is going to be another kind of like stable area. We're going to take the bottom of the oak planks here and we're going to extend it across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The astute of you will notice that that lines up with the birch plank that we have over there. We then want to extend it across by 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we are then going to extend it forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like this. And this is where the other stable will come in. We can raise up the corners here, so these back corners, we can connect these to the platform like so. We want to fill these parts of the little stable area in using birch fence, just so that nobody escapes. So we're just going to completely fill these sides in like this. And then pretty much the entire area behind here, around here, is going to go unused, unless you decide to designate it for something. So if you wanted to have some farmland or something perhaps, then you could feel free to do that. Although we do have a little bit of farmland already built into the house, there can always be more. So for instance, now that we kind of have these two areas sorted out a little bit, what we can do is we can connect these two corners. We can connect the birchwood planks on the right side of the build down from the platform down to the ground, or up from the ground up to the platform, whichever way you want to do it. We can just extend all of these and connect them as they should be. And then, as I said, a little bit of farmland is going to be utilized here. Inside of each of the stable areas is going to be your choice of animal. So I'm going to just dig the ground out like this, and I'm going to replace it with I think that I'm going to use birch wood. So I would recommend using a wood, just because, I don't know, it just looks a little bit nicer than I think, like, say, grass path. And I'm going to use birch wood on this occasion here. And this one I might even just leave as grass, and I might bone meal it, and maybe I'll keep some chickens here. As a matter of fact, what we also want to do is we want to decorate these stables a little bit better. We want to add some birch fence in front of here. We want to extend the birch fence inwards on both sides and place a gate in between them. We want to extend this birch fence here. We want to extend it across like this, and we want to leave a little gap and place a birch fence gate right in the middle. And it would actually benefit us if we were to extend this birchwood fence upwards, and this will connect to the top of our platform. And if we just add another row of birch fence here, just to make things a little bit safer, make it a little bit more harder to escape, you could even add an additional row if you wanted to. So that's looking pretty good. We can even go around the entire build now, and we can join all of the birchwood planks down to the ground. So we can use our birch fence and we can extend them all down to the ground, which is the exact opposite of what I'm doing. I'm kind of like extending upwards, really, but it's the exact same action in reverse, I guess. So we're just going to join all of these. And this is going to be, not that it's needed, because, you know, gravity is just a construct in Minecraft. It's a choice in Minecraft, you know, you don't really need it, but it does look a little bit better, I think, if we do have all of these support structures in place. Why do we have these oakwood stairs? You probably aren't wondering to yourselves. I bet it's quite obvious, actually. These stairs here are going to be extended down to the ground, and the way that we're going to do it is we're going to place upside down oakwood stairs underneath them, and then forwards facing oakwood stairs in front of that. So upside down and then forwards facing, To join down to the ground, I'm going to place another forwards facing, and then I'm just going to place some upside down ones behind them. That's the easiest way to do that. There we go. That is looking pretty good. If you wanted to, you can. Notice how we've got this plank here. You can extend this birch fence upwards. Can you see where it would extend and connect? You can do that, and you can even, if you wanted to, kind of like fill this in with birch fence. Depending upon how you lay this out, you might get some escapes, but we'll see. We'll see a little bit later. So this is what we want to have now so far. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks pretty great. So we're going to move up onto the next level, and we're going to grab our oak planks. We're going to come to the left side of the build, and we, on the left side of the build, will start from this first birchwood plank here, and we're going to ignore this one. We're going to come to the second, we're going to ignore this one, and we're going to come to the third. This is the one that we want. So on top of this, we are going to place 8 oak wood planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to do 2 things. Number 1, we want to extend down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we also want to extend backwards by 4 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We can then extend to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can mark this down to the platform, so we can extend it all the way down. It can hit the platform. But once again, we want to do 2 things. We want to take this block and we want to extend it backwards by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we can then do is we can join this down to the lower part of the platform. You will notice it does not join down to where you might expect it to, which is where this plank is, but join it down and then take this block and extend it across, join it down to this corner of the platform, and also join it forward. So this is the grand shape that we have given ourselves, and it's not looking too bad. A little bit bland, but we can certainly work on that. What do we have to do first of all? We placed a row of 4 earlier extending down from one of our corners. We want to take that row of 4 and we want to extend it to the right. No surprise here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to extend it inwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can even extend it across. So this is actually going to create a little bit of a balcony area. Where we have these 2 blocks here, this is actually going to be an entrance. You can place a double door there now if you like, and you can place glass above it as it will be. We can place a row of birchwood stairs extending down from the doors, and we're going to place upside down birchwood stairs underneath, and then in front, underneath, and then in front, once again in front, and then underneath. As you get to that bottom pair of stairs, it is just so much better if you jump the gun a little bit and you place the stairs that connect, and then you can easily place behind, like this. So when it comes to this area here, well, the base of this is actually going to be filled in using, and I'm going to get rid of the birch fence gates. We never really need this material any other time, and you can use birchwood slabs for this, but it's a little bit easier if you were to use birchwood planks, and we can fill this in using birchwood planks. So this is basically just like a little balcony slash platform area here. We want to join the edge of the balcony down to the ground using oakwood planks. So just the edge, not the inside, because it will make up a little bit of living space inside. So join the edge down to the ground. You don't want to go too far, you don't want to go to the left, you just want to join this. You can take the corner of the balcony here, you can join it upwards, and you can add a row of oak planks to the left, oak planks to the right, and you can add oak planks to the left of the double door that we have. And you can fill these areas in using glass pane. I would recommend on one of them, your choice which one, leaving 2 spaces out, and then that will allow you to walk in and out, so that will allow you access to said balcony. We can place a little bit of birch fence around it, and you can see it's actually going to be a really cool feature as we progress on later. Underneath the stairs area can be filled in using oak planks, unless you want to have a little hidden entrance into this part of the house. You could have a little hidden entrance. You could even have a little hidden room if you wanted to. This isn't something that I actually thought of just until now, but it'd actually be kind of cool if you did have a quotation marks over hidden room, because we're actually going to be placing a big window here, but you could have a little hidden room perhaps that just has maybe like an ender chest of armor in it, just kind of here. You don't have to have a window if you don't want to, but I actually want a window right here. It's but if you did want a little hidden room, that'd be a great place to have one, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be kind of hard to find. You don't even particularly see it as you're walking along the stairs, but I'm going to have a little bit of glass here anyway, so this hidden room is going to be a little bit moot, but I will probably put some like armor in here or something a little bit later on, and maybe people who are a bit observant will be able to get to it. Above here, so you have the 3 rows of glass spanning the width of the house, and then above here we are going to have, once again, it's kind of going to be a balcony area, so I'm just going to basically place glass around the edge here, and we'll be able to just walk straight through the middle onto this little balcony. And what we are going to do with the balcony is basically on the back of the build where we have this birchwood plank here, we're just going to extend this birchwood plank upwards by 4 using oak planks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can join it to the right, and then we're just going to fill the middle of this in, and it's going to extend forwards, and it's just going to equal the, there we go, it's just going to equal the width of this particular part of the house. We can place some birch fence around it, and we've just got like a cool little balcony, a little bit of an overhang. I really quite like it. It's a nice little feature. Not only do we want to have that, of course, but the entire back part of the build, I don't really like having windows. And by the way, feel free to fill in a little bit of the second floor of the build. The second floor of the build pretty much it extrapolates from the balcony and from where we have these doors here, so you should be able to work that out quite nicely. If you want to add additional windows to the build, feel free, be my guest. You are more than welcome to do it. I may add some windows as I start working on the inside, but for now, I'm just going to leave the sides of this blank. I actually haven't designed the inside of this yet, up until this point, so there may be windows, there may not be. It's probably going to depend on how you actually decorate the inside of your build, but you can fill primarily the entire back and the entire side of the house in using oak planks, unless you do designate that you do want to have some windows. We may add some, we may not, we'll see. So, when it comes back to the front of the house, you may notice that things are a little bit lacking. We are lacking a couple of things, some important things actually. So, number 1, there's a window here. We're going to place a row of oak planks just in front of this exposed birch. We're going to add another row of oak planks on top, and then 2 rows of glass pane on top of this, just like so. We have to make way for 2 roofs. The roof on the upper part of the build starts on the front of this part of the build here. So we want to take this row of 5 and we want to place a row of 3 oak planks on top of it, and then a row of 1. We want to make a pyramid. On the right side, we want to do the same thing. The roof curves around in an L shape, so very much just like this. We may even make it. Let's do part of the roof because it's not my favorite. We want to have a row of birchwood stairs that extends from basically the row of oak that we were just working with. It extends from the front all the way around to the side like this. And we build up our birchwood stairs, just like so. We build them up just in rows. They sit directly on the sides of our pyramid. The birchwood stairs will also overhang the particular parts of the house by 1 row as well, just like this. So not only do we want to do that on one side, but of course we will want to do it on the other side as well. It will build up, it will meet together at the apex, which is the very tippity top where it is highest, and we're actually going to be using birchwood slabs for that. So we'll add the extra stairs hanging off of the house where necessary just now. I find it a little bit easier to do all of this in one go, so once we've actually added like the base of the of the roof just like this, and then we can add upside down stairs underneath this because it just makes sense like this. Place a birchwood plank just right in the middle. We want to do this on both sides, of course. We don't just want to do this on one side, so here and here as well. And then we're going to be placing birchwood slabs extending all the way from the middle here all the way to the middle on the opposite side, so just like this. If you want a cool effect, you can actually flare up these slabs on the end and even in the middle here, and it just kind of adds a little something extra to the roof. Feel free to do that if you so choose. So not only do we have all of that, but we do also want to extend the entrance to the, I guess, the first floor portion of the house. We want to extend it out a bit. So to do that, we're going to grab our oak planks and we're going to take this oak plank here and we're going to extend forwards 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to extend up by 2, 1, 2, and then we want to extend to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can extend down and we can join back. We can fill in these two walls using oak planks just like this. And then on top of this row of oak planks, we can take the middle and we can extend this up. And then the middle block, so we can take the 5 blocks, turn them into 3 and then into 1. And then we're going to place our birchwood stairs on the side of it. As we were just working on the roofs, the birchwood stairs on the side of it. Eventually we will hit the top, which is going to of course be birchwood slabs, and we may even flare the top upwards a little bit as well, just as we did with the rest of the roof. So we'll place our upside down stairs here, which will just make it a lot easier to build the rest of the roof. So here, and then we have a row of birchwood slabs and then flare the end up just like this. So you can see really does make a huge difference where this looks so much better now. So this area, we're going to split it in half. We're going to place a row of oak wood planks right in the middle upwards. On the left side, oak door. On the right side, oak wood planks at the bottom, glass pane right there. Boom, perfect. We have to place a birch fence around the top of the platform. I think we've actually placed it everywhere else that we need to. So just basically on the birch wood outline is why it almost is really. We want to place our birch fence just like this. I think we might have placed it all. There we go. Perfect. So as you can see, we're rapidly approaching the point in which we have actually done all of this. We have to add a nether portal. So that is going to be made using obsidian, flint and steel. We also have a lot of decorating to do, so we'll actually be using grass blocks. We'll need both kinds of seeds, regular and beetroot. We need lanterns, we need oak leaves, oak trap doors. What else might we need? Also the hoe, of course, silly me. Okay, so the nether portal goes here, where we have this big 4x4 space. The nether portal sits on the right, top, and left side of this empty space, and we take the bottom 2 blocks, we dig into the platform, and then we place a little bit of obsidian. We light it up with the flint and steel, and that is the portal, looking great. We liven the place up a bit by placing some leaves just coming out the left side of the portal, wrapping around to the entrance to the first floor. We also want to place some leaves in a couple of different places, so it's just nice to have some just up here on the balcony. Whether you want to just leave it at that, I quite like just leaving it like there. Maybe some up here too. We can have just maybe like an L shape of leaves. It just adds a little bit of color, a little bit, it just looks a little bit nicer. Here as well, we want to have kind of like a little garden, so we're going to place grass blocks. If you don't have grass, use dirt. You'll only have grass if you're on creative, I should imagine. And we are going to place grass kind of like in the middle of the platform, leaving an extra gap here on the left. We're going to place oak trapdoors around, and this is basically just going to be, I'm going to keep my beetroots here, but you could have whatever you like. I like the idea of using this as a farm space. I quite like the fact that the outside of this particular part of the platform is a little bit utilitarian. My bad placing these trapdoors. I didn't do them in the best way. Still aren't. Okay. On the side of this, I like the idea, and we're actually missing something that we do need, which is a shovel. I'm sure that it will be in the item list. I'm actually going to shovel the middle of this, like this horizontally, so that we can walk across it. And then I'm going to hoe the rest of this, and I'm going to turn this into beetroots. And hopefully by the end of the video, these will have grown and they'll look nice and colourful. Just like so. That's a trapdoor. That's not seeds. There we go. I'm going to use birchwood stairs and birchwood planks. I'm going to place a birchwood plank in the middle of this. Here, and then I'm going to place birchwood stairs on both sides. So this will just allow you to climb up onto the farm. So that's why we have the shoveled area, so that we can just like walk up onto it like this. You can add some light if you like, so I like the idea of adding a light maybe just here, hanging under, so you can still walk along, but you've got the light kind of centralized on the farm. We can add a couple of lanterns just kind of like hanging around the place, just on the build, just to keep things a little bit light and bright, just like this. What else do we want to do? Well, we want to add a path, so getting our shovel back out again, we're going to shovel an area. The width of the oak stairs down here, I'm going to extend forwards by 3 rows. These last 2 rows, I'm going to extend inwards. And then I'm going to extend them across like this. And this is going to take us to a little garden that we're going to have here. This garden is literally just entirely, this entire width of the oak plank part of the house, just like this. We're just going to place seeds. I'm going to be using actual seeds, regular just seeds, so wheat. And that is what I'm going to have here. And just a hanging lantern somewhere maybe there, just to keep things a little bit nice and lit up. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually made the entire house. There's maybe a couple of things that you can do to decorate the inside of the barn area, and kind of like this little pen that we have here. I'm actually going to be doing that off recording, and just to show you, because this is the last step, that is the last step, we have done all of the step-by-step portions of this build. There is nothing left for me to show you step by step, but I am going to decorate the inside of the house for you, maybe add a couple of animals to this, so that you can really check this out and see what this house is about, and maybe, just maybe, give you a little bit of design inspiration. So I'll be back in a second. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what your house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. You're going to notice on the back of the house that I have added a few windows. I haven't really added any decoration around them, just to keep a sense of simplicity, but farms have grown. I have added a little bit of decoration into our 2 barns. We have a stable here with our horse, who is very, very excited, and we also have a couple of little piggies here as well. So this is how you may want to decorate the lower part of your house. Add some cauldrons, add some hay, bone meal, maybe even a little bit of yellow carpet to simulate some hay on the ground as well. As we get up onto the second floor, you will notice that our beetroots have grown over there, but more importantly, we have also decorated the first floor of the house. It's a bit of a utility room. We have a little bit of storage, we have a vast amount of smelting, we have some brewing, we have some enchanting, everything that we could possibly need in here. As we move around, I do want to show you our little secret hidden room that isn't particularly secret, considering the fact that, you know, you can kind of see it from the outside, but as you'll be able to see, the room has basically a nice set of diamond armor. We have our ender chest in there, and it's just kind of like a nice little Easter egg if you're exploring their house to find that. Finally, as we come upstairs onto the second story of the house, you'll notice that we have a load of crafting implements, we have some storage, we have our bedroom, some more armor, but we also have mass storage here. So we have so much storage that we probably won't run out of space for stuff. And that's it. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section for more. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.